I screwed up the opening again because I didn't set the settings right. There we go. Welcome to Wrestling Rewind, the season finale on this Friday afternoon here on the Jeff Meacham Network. I am, of course, Jeff Meacham. That's why my hat says it. My nameplate says it. It's kind of a thing now. And to my left is the man who yesterday saw one of the two men heading toward his impending doom, they think. The champion himself, Greg Cherry. Dude, like, I am still coming down from yesterday, not going to lie. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I don't know what to say about this tournament. Like, it is constantly been surprising that everything is going on. But next week is, it might be the match of the tournament to watch.
Right?
I mean, Scott Gata and Louis Dangoor next week. It's insane. It's like, with those two, and man, one of the three of them is going to face me. I don't want to.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't like.
It's getting so close.
For it, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like, I know I set this up myself, but what did I do?
You've quite literally at least started to dig your own grave. It's a matter of finishing the job here in a couple weeks. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But as I showed you yesterday, there is much to do to get where you wanted to be, because we talked about that you wanted to catch the Beast at some point in his NWA title reign, and dude, that's a whole other WrestleMania off from now. Like, holy shit, dude! Like I said yesterday, you've got to get to the Raw go home before Mania next year if you want to pass Dan. Let alone get past 3 weeks from now. Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
I'm very fortunate, like, that we're doing the tournament format, so it's really only like 2 or 3 defenses, you know?
So about the same as Dan had. I love Dan. I do. But he just, like, when he was champion for 4 years, it was just, it was very sporadic because of his UFC commitments. But, I mean, that's what you've got. That's your next daunting task. Not to lay it on you any more than we already had the last few weeks, but
Yeah.
There's a link at the bottom, guys. And yes, I did say season finale. I mentioned it all week. The way Peacock is set up right now, with their lack of user-friendly interface approach to the network, it's hard to just skip to a match. You have to actually, like, fast forward, like when we were kids and had to actually use a freaking VCR. So it's a pain in my ass, and I don't feel like having to edit and trying to have you guys catch us at the same time. It's bad enough when we do the timestamps with the network the way it was. So we figure we've got the trivia tournament still. I've got the rest of Mania week to drive me bonkers as it is. You guys saw the trailer just a few seconds ago. What we have left to come. And then going into next week also. It's always busy around here. So I figure, you know what? We'll find something to go in the Tuesday slot, because as you saw, Mikey's moving to Thursdays. So it'll be after trivia. And then once trivia's done, it'll just be Thursday will be Mikey's day. But got to find something to put on Friday now. That's the thing, because I've been doing – actually, no, I don't, because Friday would have been Rewind had it not moved to Friday because of – trivia. So I guess I'm good for every day except Tuesday. But anyway, I want to focus on this, because this, I know for a fact, is one of my favorite WrestleMania matches, one of my favorite Shane McMahon matches. And that says quite a bit, because there's not been a really cruddy Shane McMahon WrestleMania match. So, I mean, we all know the champ's affinity for Shane. And I knew you'd wear that today. I knew you would. God bless you for being predictable. Thank you, Lord, for that.
You know what?
I
right before I came into the studio, I was like, "Oh wait, it's a Shane McMahon match. I'm gonna put on my jersey." Like I originally wasn't, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Shane's in the match. Gotta rep the money, baby."
It's Shane McMahon. It's the finale for the season, and if they get their shit together by SummerSlam, we'll be back. But I'm not going to get their shit together. But I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it. So what we have done in preparation for watching today's show is figure. Okay, we had 2 options. The WWE, the official WWE link, the full match is not the full match, because as you and I both know, the full match includes the entrances. Mm-hmm. And there's one thing Shane McMahon is at WrestleMania is his damn entrances. So we had to get this link, which is from another user on YouTube. I won't add him because I'm not going to get him thrown off YouTube or, copyright pinged or whatever. But there's the link. So if somebody wants to rat him out, I ain't going to say his name. You do you, boo. You be a shithead. I'm not going to do that this week. But this is, for me, Greg, this is the start of 2017 for Shane that convinced him being a babyface is not an option because he got goaded into this one because trying to do the right thing by the company as far as, John Cena being the champion or, AJ not getting his shot. And by the end of the year, he and Kevin Owens are going to war and Sami Zayn turns heel to help Kevin out. So the next year, Shane went, all right, screw this bullshit. I'll be a bad guy again. Hell with this.
Well, I mean, he wasn't a bad guy till 2019, so this is
well, but to be mildly fair to the McMahons, I know. Wait, they said at the end of 2017, we're going to let you guys decide. So they kind of forcibly took a back seat, or at least they tried. So you didn't see much of any of the four of them throughout that 2018 year, which I thought was good. We only really got to see Vince and Stephanie get up in people's faces again, and then Triple H also when Ronda came around, and then when we led into the WrestleMania 35 main event, which was the women's match that Becky got pulled from by Vince. So they really popped in very sporadically over 2018, which again was not a disservice to the product. I promise you that it actually was better. Although the Hunter Stephanie versus Angle and Ronda match was really good. At the previous
match of the night.
It really was. And at a WrestleMania where there were actually pretty decent matches, the match of the night was pretty. Now this WrestleMania, this is the match of the night without question. And the WWE Championship match was just, oh God. I pray to whatever wrestling god, be it Bradshaw or whoever, that the Fiend and Orton right that wrong on Sunday, because man, was this match at Mania bad. Woo, woo.
Okay, so, I do want to say this. I want to throw this out there.
Yes,
we talk about Brett versus Owen and Daniel Bryan versus Triple H as the greatest opening matches in WrestleMania history. This match has got to be right up there. It might not beat them, but it's got to be in the conversation. It's
kind of like with those. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. I mean, really. I mean, if they're all so damn good. Brett Owen set the standard. Without question. I mean, those two. The fact that Beth Phoenix on her Icons Pro, and she's talked about it for years. That's the one that she went. Okay, I'm doing this for sure now. I was kind of on the fence. Now I'm doing this. If you bring Beth Phoenix into the wrestling, you're good on me because she's one of the best ever.
Exactly.
And she gave the greatest side-along promo for Edge ever in the history of the Hall of Fame, and I applaud her for that to this day. I hope Tony's there in 2 days.
If Tony Chimmel is not at WrestleMania, it's not a true Edge entrance. We gotta get Chimmel, if only for Mania.
Yeah, it was one thing last year when it was at the PC and there was no crowd pop for Tony that would have if he would have been there. And plus, you don't want to bring Tony into a COVID environment because it's not safe. But he's gotta be there Sunday. Jeebus, please, like seriously, I have a YouTube payout coming. What will it take, Vince? What will it take? Bro, we want Chimmel. I'm gonna have to go on during this show anyway. So we usually do the where you at in your fandom on this thing. We're both freaking balls deep in no DQ work at this point. So
I think actually, funny enough, I think the predictions for WrestleMania 33 was actually my debut, as part of the panel.
Oh, there you go.
I'm pretty sure, because Wrestling Trivia Challenge had not started yet. It was still a few months away.
No.
So, I finally debuted on the panel. It was you, me, Rift, and fourth. But
yeah. What's so funny that you say that is, people don't remember that WrestleMania was going to be my swan song. I had talked wrestling after that, talking about The Undertaker, and I was done. Mm-hmm. But because of panelist number 4, here I sit. So it's, here I be. So yeah, this WrestleMania is really underscored monumental for both of us because it was your debut. It was supposed to be my last because I was so burnt out. I mean, I'd come back in 2014 kind of sort of did the talk wrestling with Rob, and then I went all like not to be funny, but all in and just did everything. I was on every show. I was back, and to the point where my parents are going, "Is he paying you at this point? You're on every day." I was like, you know what? It's not what it's about. So by the 3-year point, I was like, okay, I need to not. And what happened, and I came back, and I think it was a blessing in disguise that it happened, because I came back and I kept the momentum of my support up, and here I sit with my own freaking branding hat, the Greg Sherry design T-shirt on my back. It's awesome, and I am so grateful in a weird way that the circumstances were what they were, because neither one of us, I don't think, would have been where we sit at this moment had it not been for the needing to rally together after the shenanigans went down. So I never would condone what happened, and never would, oh, okay, well, whatever, thank you. But it really did light that fire back under my ass again to come back and work hard. So here we be, and we're wrapping up. We actually were doing this show. We were talking about doing this show long before I had a Jeff Meacham network, because you and I love the watch-alongs. We there's stuff all over the internet, especially YouTube. And not to kiss anybody's ass here, but Tony Schiavone and Conrad do a great one, or they used to every week on Wednesdays before Dynamite took over Tony's life. I was like, you know what, I could do this, because Greg and I have such a great affinity for the business, and we love providing commentary. We love the art of commentary. I mean, God, you and I are, worship at the altar of Gorilla and Bobby at the Rumble '92. So, so we aspire to stuff like that. But it's also cool to have a perspective of two completely different fans. You've got me, who's been watching for 30 years. You came in shortly after the just after the Attitude Era. Am I correct in that? As far as like watching full time.
My first pay-per-view that I remember watching was '92 SummerSlam.
Oh, okay. So you're not that far behind me, actually. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay. No. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm actually thinking of JJ, because he came in the Attitude Era. His first pay-per-view was SummerSlam '98. So there you go. But it's been cool to have you along for this ride. It's been cool to have Jay come back into the fold and do dads with me, and I've just been so privileged to have. And I've been really like kissing booty all week, and I don't mean to sound like a kiss ass, but I've been really privileged the last 15 months to really have all you guys kind of rally behind me, and especially you. I mean, like I said, almost my entire wardrobe is you today. So it's like, thank you, God, because you and I both know, because we've been on the other side of that business, where promos and branding is everything. And you being a game show person also, and wanting to get on that side of the camera, dude, game shows are all about branding and marketing, and just having to have everything colors and in your face and boom, boom, boom. And my dad wears his Back to the Future labeled Jeff Meacham Network shirt, and people at the grocery store are like, "What's that?" Because they see a thought and they think Back to the Future. They go, "Oh, what's that? Oh, who's that? Oh, that's my son." And then my dad will give him the YouTube address. I'm like, "Oh man, thank you." So, dude, it's like, it's not bad enough. I love it.
See, brand recognition, and the thing is, doing parodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, parodies are protected under copyright law, so it's one of those things that it's cool to do. So you can do the brand recognition stuff, but not exactly cross that line. So if you catch people's eye with something that's familiar to them, then you can drive in the conversation. And it
exactly.
Works out like
it's really funny. I went to, I've told you guys, I'm trying to get a WrestleMania every logo shirt, because they're all different. I mean, as you get past 7, they change, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But I tried to find a Royal Rumble shirt on the Shop Zone. Okay, can't get this one. Can't get the 2001 one, because Greg's got. Luckily, we haven't had a logo that is the old '88 logo, because they have it on the shop. And it's like, that's where it all began. So once I get a little bit more money into the kitty, I'm definitely going to buy a Rumble shirt, because I definitely want at least one from each of the big four.
Yeah. So I had thought about designing a shirt based off like the '96 Rumble logo, but then I was like, I don't like that one.
No. And what's funny is you can find that all over Etsy and eBay. Like everybody's created their own with it. It's like,
see, and I designed my own 2001,
which I love.
2001 one.
Yeah, 2001 edition. Yeah, I love that one.
Which I still haven't worn. It's still hanging up for if something ever happens. But
right. Well, for me, it's like that Rumble has good and bad memories. I mean, you've got Austin coming back, you've got the return of the Big Show from LBW, and then you have Drew Carey. So it's like,
you know what? It served its purpose.
It did because Austin got where he needed to go. Angle and Hunter had a hell of a match that night. Let's not kid ourselves on that one. That was a damn good WWE Championship match. And, you had that moment with Rock and Austin where, are they going to be going again down the line? Like, what's going to happen now? Because that was we had that little tease there in the Rumble match. And, of course, Kane set the record. And, by the way, I haven't really had a chance to say it all week on camera. Congratulations to the Hall of Famers this year. I mean, Rob, of course, I'm going to, sing Rob's praises till the day I die. But, Glenn Jacobs, my goodness, he is, dude, it's like a Lifetime Achievement Award for that guy. He went through some serious muddy shit before he donned the red mask. So God bless him for that.
I need to go back and watch that because I know he addressed Isaac Yankem. Did he talk about Diesel at all?
He did not. Diesel? He did not. He actually was talking about Isaac because his mom was and they had a dentist in the family, and he just found that so funny. It's like, so it's like I don't think Isaac's covering a dental plan there, Mrs. Jacobs. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
probably don't want to, even if he is.
That's fair.
Scary dude. All right, so you've seen the link. You know where to go. I don't need to lay it out any further. Let's just get right into it. Cue it up, everybody. Here we go. Turn volume down so don't be copyright pinged. 3, 2, 1, play. The classic long shot. Actually, that's the same venue I was at for WrestleMania 24. That shot you just saw was pretty much where I was sitting.
Yeah. And it is a little pixelated, but
it is. But it's like I said, Shane's entrances are everything, especially at Mania. And and plus, if you're not familiar with what's happening, you need to see the package anyway. So because a lot of people don't remember 4 years ago for some reason. I mean, I get my memories crap, but I have a TBI, so I have an excuse. So I love the graphics of this WrestleMania. That's why I picked that one. Instead of the one like on .com or whatever, like the laid out one. I love the match graphics on TV. They were so good for this Mania. And okay, I know you love Shane, and I know that this is an awesome match, one of the best openers ever. I still really get irked that AJ's WWE Championship match at WrestleMania was not this year. Like I get the need to get John the 16 for whatever reason. I don't even think he gives a shit at this point. I really don't think he does, especially when he lost his Bray the next month. It's like, what the actual hell does it matter for real? And then we got that damn Orton Bray thing that we talked about. Yeah. But for me, it's I don't know, the money for me, because John's Mania match this year, this 2017, was that ridiculous mixed tag match.
Yeah.
And the subsequent proposal. I think there's money in John and AJ at WrestleMania this year if I'm booking the territory back then. But maybe I might be biased because I've loved AJ for so long and I'm friends with John, so maybe that's a little bit of a bias in me. But it's not near as forced as this year with Shane and Braun, because this is just ridiculous this year with them. But it almost feels like, okay, we want AJ to do something spectacular, but we don't want him with John. We don't want him in the title match. What do we do here? Let's throw Shane at him and see what they can cook up. Yeah.
The only thing I didn't care about with that beatdown was there was a camera in the car. It was like
that was really like
it's like, why does everything need to be overproduced?
Yeah. That really reminded me of the empty arena match, Rock and Mankind.
Yeah.
99.9% beautiful presentation.
And on the
forklift cam. Forklift Cam was like, oh. Even Mick in his book was like, oh, man. We had him, and oh, man. Just so bad. And there's that ridiculousness from the previous year.
Yeah.
Dude, like, when you think about the scope of how big that stadium is in Arlington, sorry, guys, my bad. And then how big the cell had become because they redesigned it and made it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the flash bulbs and the video on that spot is just obscene. Because even if the 101,000 mark is not 100% accurate, that's a shitload of eyes on him in the arena and the stadium, and a lot on the network, man. And it was one of Shane's biggest WrestleMania moments by far.
Mm-hmm. It's insane to think about. Like, Shane McMahon has competed in, I believe, 6 WrestleManias so far.
15, 17, this
32
one.
35.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
wow. Wait.
Shane McMahon's had 6 WrestleMania matches, and they've all been good.
Yeah. Not worth it. It's so...
And I hate people that complain all the time. It's like, why is Shane McMahon I'll admit, they kind of shoehorn this Braun thing, and the storyline is terrible.
Yeah.
But if they put on a good match, then everybody should shut the hell up, because it's like,
well,
that will be 7 for 7 for Shane McMahon good WrestleMania matches.
Okay, I will definitely admit that. As far as shutting the hell up, though, it's like, look, how many ways are they going to pigeonhole Braun Strowman before they're like, oh, dude, go ahead and work for Tony with Big Show. Well, see you later. Like, they keep making him look, dude, he should have, first of all, Roman not being there at WrestleMania, the only reason he got the shot at Goldberg in the first place.
Yeah. Which
was bullshit. He wasn't on the card, which is complete shit. He should have been champion long before he was. I've said that countless times. And I will never agree with anybody having to go against Goldberg, especially in a big match, because, Bill gets wiggy. So, the one big WWE match he's had that really delivered from my perspective, and this is going to sound weird coming from me, is Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Like, he and Brock actually had a decent match at Mania that year. This year, right? Yeah, this year. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about yesterday because Brock's 504 days started at WrestleMania.
Yep.
So, and again, 504, that's cute. But yeah, Braun is so misused. I'm not advocating him leaving or, taking a stand and whining like a bitch or whatever, but, when you think about his his big WrestleMania moments, this year being called Braun by Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Last year having to deal with Wrestling Billy Boy for a few minutes. Nicholas, his tag team championship partner. And not only does it make him look like a goof, that really dicked Cesaro and Sheamus that year. That was so bad.
Yep.
That hurt way too many talented
people.
And
then they immediately vacate the titles the next night.
Because the kid's got school. It's like, well, he had school yesterday, or he had school going into yesterday. Like, why? No projection on direction.
What a shot that is of AJ too.
Yeah, that was, Again, and you gotta remember, this is Orlando. This is where he danced most of his career in the first place. Mm-hmm. And he's in that arena just thinking about all the times that Dixie and everybody in management just made him dance like a little trained little monkey, and he's going, I'm at WrestleMania, you cocksuckers. So, although I will say that Dixie appeared on WWTV when Kurt came back, so it looks like they're okay. And the fact that Jarrett's in the Hall of Fame definitely seems like wounds have been greatly healed over the years with the TNA management versus WWE management, but
even still, Jericho's on Broken Skull sessions,
right? Hang on 1 second. I'm getting sounds like a summons.
So for those watching, it's anybody who knows me knows I'm a big Shane McMahon guy. I'm also a big AJ Styles guy, so I was really excited for this match.
This is
the fact that they didn't really have any shenanigans in this match, because it was scheduled to be a straight up wrestling match.
Right. There was much shenanigans leading into it, which made you think it was going to be a shenanigans match, but they did a really good job here.
Yeah.
So but you got to know that for every one of these guys in the company now that started in TNA and was, trying to be the alternative.
I love AJ.
He's great. Jeez. Oh, man. I love it. And what's funny is, AJ works great either side of the coin. We talked about it earlier. Shane is a decent babyface. He is a great heel most of the time. This storyline this year, not so much. But, most of the time, he's an effective, better than you. I'm the McMahon, and he's even used all of that in the argument for this year's storyline. It's just the whole stupid thing. That's what kills the storyline for me. It really does. And man, Shane's just whipping AJ around. It's like when you think about it, the discussion in the last 20 years has always been between Bryan Danielson and AJ Styles on who's the better wrestler in the world. And Shane McMahon's tossing around like he's a freaking Barry Horowitz 2.0 here.
Shane giving it right back to him, doing his
love it. I love it. Dude, how often were we doing that damn freaking AJ Styles pose on XMV every week? For real. Yeah. It's like every time we talk about anything, we were doing this. It's like, God, we were so on the TNA nut, man. Oh my Lord.
I mean, that was TNA's glory days, though. Like when
it was,
when that was going on.
And you know what the thing is? We were so anti WWE management at the time on Team XMV because, it was the freaking Hunter and JBL shows. Like, okay, thanks. So,
but now we look back at and we appreciate
what
they did.
Both of them. I mean, really, Hunter more so obviously because of who he is now. But JBL. I was gonna say JBL went in the Hall of Fame the other night, and I found myself happy for him. People will crap on John for the bullying stuff and whatever, but he stepped into a situation that was no win. Oof. He had to beat Eddie Guerrero.
Judas effect.
Right? He had to beat it. Yes, I saw that. He had to beat Eddie Guerrero, who was one of the most beloved champions of the modern era. Mm-hmm. And then he had to carry the championship and be a swarmy heel and be everything that Bradshaw the Acolyte was not. And that had to be a tough road for him to hoe at first. And he's like, I got this. And he went at it, man, for a year. I saw this dumb post. And
Did you watch Takeover Night 1?
I did. Can we talk about that for a minute? Yeah, I mentioned it. I mentioned it during the watch along on Wednesday night, but I don't want to go near Walter anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the Gauntlet Eliminator because I watched Shane spill out of the ring. Did you see Dexter Loomis spill out of the ring?
Yeah,
in that match.
That was scary.
I thought he pulled something or got hurt or something.
Yeah, that was a frightening spot.
Nasty.
Yeah. No, I think at the table because the table was wrecked and freaking Walter chopped through it just one hand. Mm-hmm. It's like, those of you that have been in the business more than I have taken your chop initiation. If I'm seeing Walter, right? If I'm seeing Walter on the other end of that chop initiation, I'm retiring on the spot. I'm done. Goodbye. He is and again, he had the match the next day too. So he's the guy's just I can't say enough good things about everybody in NXT UK. I can't. Just great stuff.
Walter and Ciampa was insane.
Yeah, it was.
They beat the piss out of each other.
And the fact that Walter went into a match the next day, I'm sure it was pre-taped, but still, I mean, if they're trying to sell like it was the next day for real, man, Walter's a stud. Jeez, this bananas. It's crazy. Yeah, that match was really good. I love that it was predictable from the main event because Raquel won the title. I was like, okay, that's how it should have been.
Io Shirai is a nutcase.
She like, okay. Same thing with Walter the Chop. If I see Io Shirai any more than 2 feet above my head, I'm running for my life. Just getting out of the way. I'm not even dicking with that. Just nope.
That's why I tweeted out what I did last night. Io Shirai versus Shane McMahon in a jumping off high things match.
There you go. That's tremendous. There was so much stuff going on Wednesday night. I didn't see everything, but I'm sure I'll find it along here when I get back to the rest of my day because it doesn't end today after this.
Yeah.
By the way, I do need to thank JJ. You saw in the preview. Usually we replay one of his episodes on every other Friday that's not Dad's. He went out of his way to edit together an entire John Wick trilogy presentation for us today. So I thank him. So coming up at 6, all 3 movies. So he's going to premiere his review of part 3 at 6 on his channel. And then mine's going to go along. Ours is going to go along here until I think he said his part of part 3 on my channel is going to be like at 6:45 or something. So just before we go into SmackDown tonight. So JJ, thank you for your efforts. I appreciate it so much. Just leaves me with less shit to do today. I am looking forward to SmackDown though. I know it seems weird that they're having the WrestleMania matches on. Oh jeez, stupid. Oh God, like I can never not watch Shane do his punches. They're just like they're either really good or they're really bad. There's no between. Like he goes back and forth between punching like his old man and punching like Muhammad Ali.
Really bad Shane matches.
What's that?
You said they're either really good or really bad. There are no really bad Shane matches.
Well, the matches, yes, but the punches.
Oh,
his punches go. They either go like to his dad's spectrum or to Muhammad Ali's spectrum. There's like no middle ground.
Shane with an angle slam.
He members.
Yeah,
and we know Kurt members.
It's funny because for Big G's entrance, he gave us the option of choosing like a WWE like pair of socks.
Oh, for the wedding,
okay. An entrance that we get to do at the reception.
Nice.
So naturally, paying tribute to my favorite match, Kurt Angle socks, Shane McMahon entrance.
Beautiful. I haven't told anybody else this except right now here live on the show. I messaged him on Wednesday saying I couldn't go. It's too expensive, man. I mean, even on Spirit, which I love Spirit, man, they got inexpensive flight. I could get back to you guys for dirt cheap compared to what we paid a few years ago. But flight plus the hotel, really nice hotel, really nice hotel prices. And then just, being away from here for right around the time Dylan starts back to 8th grade, it's like, there's just so much that says don't go.
Yeah.
So I will make it up to him. He knows I will. So, but yeah, I'm going to miss Bailey's birthday in May too. It's just, it's not the feasible year to do frivolous shit. And I know the wedding is not frivolous by any means. I'm not saying a wedding's frivolous, but me traveling to a wedding I'm not in the wedding party for, that's the frivolous part. So like it's a shit show, but it just, I can't. Anyway, trying to do like, okay, we're finally getting out of the house here in June. We're gonna apparently by June 15th, we're gonna be totally clear out here in this crazy ass state of ours. So it's like, okay, so in June I can go do this thing I've been wanting to do, and that'll cost $20. Okay, I can do that down the street.
Almost the Rings of Saturn.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And again, you've got another guy in the ring here in the third. Oh man, that was a nasty spill. double clothesline there. A third guy in the ring who underappreciated, not with the company anymore, and he's not even on TV much of anything anymore. I know he does the appearances with Conrad's show every once in a while, but I get that Mike is not the youngest guy in the referees roster, but he should not be not working. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
He's too good to be sitting on the sidelines doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I mean, people will say about Conrad and what I feel about Conrad, but good on Conrad for getting, Kyoto some sort of platform. People need to know what's going on and why people are, what people really think, not just what the company spin is. Really looking forward to what happens with Jericho and Austin on Sunday. Not going to lie.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm probably not going to watch it. I mean, you have you're fortunate enough that it's like only 8:00 your time when the show's going to end.
Right.
But I'm probably going to watch it the day after or something.
Well, it's funny. They've been putting those things
up. Freaking counter.
That was a beautiful dude. Right into
a triangle.
Right. Yeah. The stuff they've been premiering on the Sunday of a pay-per-view, they've been doing it during the day. So as long as I can get it watched by 6:00 Eastern, I'm good. Or 6:45, whatever. You know what? Okay, so yeah, it was in the trailer. So the pre-shows for them are starting at 7. And then they're going live at Mania at 8. So I'm going live with my pre-shows at 6:45. And again, like you saw on the
it seems weird that they're doing the 8:00 start time again.
Yeah, well, especially when Mania's usually the longest. Man, that was ugly. That did not look happy. And he kicks it out still. Yeah. He's a beast for real. Yeah, I'm not sure why they would have Mania be the 8:00. I mean, God, Mania's the longest show of the year. 2 nights or not.
Well, yeah, I think they're trying to scale back to the 3-hour shows for Mania, which makes sense because it's 2 nights.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that remains the same thing when they go back to 1 night next year and the year after, because
I doubt that.
Well, no, but the thing is though, if it's longer than 3 hours out here, yeah, remember, not to sound like a stereotypical prick, I don't want to be in Inglewood after dark. We did that for 20, 30-something years at the Forum. I'm good, man. No. I mean, if everybody's down there, at wherever, like I said, I'm still really trying to think of logistics of, okay, we know more than likely you two are going to come. We know more than likely the Riffs will come, whether they're married or not at that point, whatever. I am going to that one because I have the best man sticker on me, so I am going to that one. I also like to do like a Airbnb like they always do when they visit. That was interesting. See, again, cute Pele kick, very nice. Nobody in this business does a better Pele kick than AJ Styles. I'll fight you. I swear to God, I will. He's doing it since TNA was actually called TNA.
Yeah.
NWA TNA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kyoto got clocked though.
He did. He got clobbered. God bless him, man. Oh man. Here come the toys. Here we go. Yeah, I mean that's just a straight AJ temple kick.
Yeah.
To the wrong guy.
Whoopsie doodle.
Oopsie daisies. Funny how they're both wearing white on as far as their primary attire color is white. It's knowing there's going to be shenanigans. So maybe it was a choice on purpose though, because the red offsets the white. So now, why would you set Shane up for a coast to coast? You know better than that, AJ. Come on. I am legit surprised. I guess Rob was trying to be a good boy and not get in trouble. I'm legit surprised he didn't mention the coast to coaster in his Hall of Fame speech. It's like, yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
If you were in California at Heatwave 2000, you know that it's not called Coast to Coast, everybody.
Yeah.
Coast to Coast is a great podcast hosted by Greg Cherry and Joe Beach.
It's a shame that Shane and Van Dam never had a match against each other.
Right? Oh, man. Yeah, I found that very funny considering that, they were, I guess because Shane's Shane's time on TV when Van Dam was part of the company was very sporadic.
Yeah.
Like, Shane didn't come back into the fold, like, appear on TV all the damn time, almost too much, until right after Rob came back from injury in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane was so focused on the Shawn Michaels thing with his dad, and the following year with the ECW thing with Trump and then Lashley. So they really never crossed paths because, yes, the McMahons are on ECW. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Rob quote unquote challenged Vince for the title after he won it. So she may have been involved in that match, would be my guess. I have to go back in the archives once they're fixed and look.
Speaking of underrated matches, Shawn and Shane from Saturday Night's Main Event.
I've only seen it once. I don't really remember, except for the screwy finish, of course. So I have to reserve until I see it again. But I remember liking it. And you are the Shane expert, and of course Shawn Michaels. So you would know better than anybody. 1 and 2 and not quite. And front row's gone bonkers. What's funny is, like, I noticed that I'm pretty sure I saw Marissa and the kids are at ringside again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I find it so, and again, this is how weird my brain gets. Stephanie produced 3 girls, Shane 3 boys.
Yep.
Yeah, Vince isn't playing God or anything. Look at what I did. Match sets.
I wonder if any of Shane's kids are going to be as crazy and nuts as he is.
I would hope he got the gist of the crazy genes, because he's plenty bonkers by himself. Thanks. Like this, he's already done coast to coast, breaking his back, hitting the mat. Now he's going to break his everything, hitting the table. Shane, table's not your friend. You know this. Why? For the love of mankind. Oh wait, sorry, wrong match.
Yeah, it's like, Shane, you only hit this about half the time.
That's right. You are the Ric Flair off the top rope bump of this move.
I think Shane hits it more frequently than that.
This is true, but not there.
Yeah, not that wasn't one of them.
Now that we've said that. No calls.
Shane dove off the cell the year before. He's fine.
Yeah. He's good, y'all. If Michael Cole can botch a call on that fall of the cell, he's fine on this spot. Get him in the ring. By the way, I know this is being taped earlier than we're airing it, but if anybody out there can help me with this, that'd be super.
You can definitely tell it's 2017 because Kyoto's counting and they're shouting 10 the entire time.
Right. Oh, God, I know. I am so glad Sean Spears went away from that gimmick. God. I mean, yeah, wrapping a chair on Cody's head, not the best thing in the world to do, but, nice block. That was sweet looking. That was smooth as silk, man. Not going to lie. Okay, no, Shane, again, okay. Shooting Stars WrestleMania don't work either. Yeah, Shane, dude, Shooting Star, talk to Brock. He knows.
This is something he hits even less than the
yeah, right.
Table elbow.
Jesus.
But you know what? I like his Shooting Star better than Kidman's.
I don't know about Kidman's. I give it Brock's.
No, I'm going to say it. I like his Shooting Star better than Kidman's. I'm that guy. Sorry, Kidman.
I know. Yeah, I can't be that guy. I'm sorry.
I am Kidman's that guy. I'll be that guy. I will post that when this goes up. Say Shane McMahon has a better Shooting Star press than Billy Kidman. See how many people I lose following me. And
Tori Wilson likes this tweet.
I will fight you because Shane's is so much smoother. Kidman always went to the side. Shane goes straight back.
I'll have to watch some Kidman stuff again.
Kidman hit the ropes a couple times, so
that's true.
And
this tweet has 2 likes: Tori Wilson and Hulk Hogan. Anyway, yep. If you know, you know. That was nice. Nice finish. Very nice. Well, there it is, kids.
AJ beat him clean.
He did. And you know what? That's how it should be for an opening match at Mania.
Yeah.
You got to start the crowd off hot. And you got to remember, that exact crowd's been through a hell of a Mania already. And the opening match was freaking Bradshaw and Finlay. So, I love John. I love Finlay.
Plus, they had to deal with Mojo winning the freaking Battle Royal.
I forgot about that somehow.
And Ambrose retaining over Corbin in the pre-show.
I'd forgotten about Mojo winning and Gronk being a part of that. Thank you for that reminder. Really appreciate that.
Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, I know you are. It's okay. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Look at this.
You know, the rotation on that is slick. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's the crowd reaction. There you go. The fact that he rotates so quick. I mean, he's up and he's this way for a while, and he just
yeah.
All right, I co-sign.
There you go. See,
I co-sign.
Take that, Billy Kidman.
Sorry, Billy. Bad enough you lost Tori. Now we're losing shooting star press points to Shane McMahon.
Well, hey, it's better than Kidman. You have a better one than Brock, so it's okay.
Now, if you have a better one than Brock, that means your neck isn't completely broken, which is good. I still, to this day, have no idea how either of them, Kurt or Brock, walked out of that match. I don't know how it was a thing.
Considering Kurt's neck was screwed up and Brock
hanging on a thread.
Can you imagine, like, if Brock would have knocked himself completely unconscious and Angle would have retained? What would they have done?
I don't know. Like, I mean, and number one, it's the last match, so they have to get where they need to get. They have to. And number two, if your intended champion is, you know, a freaking, you know, dude, and worse, what if he's a vegetable? Like, what if he paralyzed himself? Holy shit!
Yeah,
like so many things have gone wrong with that.
I feel like that's why they did the tournament, like for Backlash, just to give Brock some time off.
Oh, they had to, because. And what's really funny is John went into the match hurt. Like, it's Brock after, it's like, can we stop hurting the SmackDown people? Thank you. Y'all just stop doing stupid shit. Speaking of doing stupid things, I'm going to clearly be unconscious by the end of this day because, again, coming up at the top of the hour here, we've got JJ's Renegades Reviews special presentation. I think I actually loaded that into the graphics thing. Oh, I did. Good. No, I did. Not poopy. You saw it in the trailer. John Wick Trilogy special, and then immediately after that, at 7:30, we start our coverage of SmackDown Live, because tonight on SmackDown, we've got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for the first time ever, not part of an actual WrestleMania night. And you guys heard our predictions earlier in the week for that, as well as the SmackDown Tag Team title match, Fatal 4-Way. If it's not the Mysterios, I really don't care. I mean, it's almost been written for those guys. So, you know, we'll see what happens tonight. But I thank you for the last, whatever, it's been 15 months since we started doing Rewind on the audio side of the network. And we will be back. Like I said, once either when WWE fixes their interface on Peacock, or we're able to find decent topical matches for the time of year we're doing the show on YouTube, or a decent video streaming platform, we will bring Rewind back. It's just a little hard right now. So there you go. But we will return. And don't forget, 1 week from yesterday, semifinal match number 2. The winner of next week's match between Louis Dangor and poor Louis has to go up against another powerhouse in Scott Gata.
I'm telling you what, if Louis ends up winning this thing, the gauntlet of people he has to run through to get to me terrifies me.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday really surprised me. It really did. And like you said,
It did and it didn't. Just because of how the match, like the final score, was what surprised me. Not who won, but the final score was what surprised me.
Right. It doesn't get any easier for the competitors or for this guy's blood pressure. So it's
gonna be Ruben all over again, isn't it?
What's that?
It's gonna be Ruben all over again, isn't it?
It's 2 shows to go, dude. And then it's crunch time. Like I said, I got the questions ready. It's just a matter of getting us all in front of the camera and doing the damn thing. So, yeah, it's gonna be a pressure cooker for the next 3 weeks, and I sickeningly look forward to it. I really do. So,
at least one of us is.
Right. So again, I thank you for co-hosting along with me the last 15 months. Much appreciated, sir. We will see you. We'll actually see you sooner than next week as far as next stuff for trivia, because we'll be on the Greg Cherry Show next Wednesday to preview trivia and to get back to normal on the Greg Cherry Show with our weird state laws and kind of like a final recap of WrestleMania from Greg's point of view, and off we go. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you down the line, I guess, on Wrestling Rewind here on the WWE Network. But later on today, of course, coming up again, top of the hour, John Wick Trilogy on Renegades Reviews and SmackDown coverage live tonight, exclusively on YouTube on the WWE Network. Until then, he's the champ, I'm the Meech, and we will see you guys next time.